With this session, we are going to see about how VLANs are being created and how we can configure different VLAN segment and categorize the PCs into those VLANs. So for this, for any VLAN related experimentation on uh, checking the status of the signed VLAN, we need a minimum of two switches to do experiment. With single switch, we can only configure either the interface to be in that particular mode or what configuration it has to take. But to experiment the VLANs, we need at least minimum of two switches to experiment. So in this case, we have two PCs connected to both of the switches, and in this particular test, we are planned to assign VLAN 1 to PC 1 and PC 3 and PC 2 and PC 4 for VLAN 2. And when I try to ping between PC 1 to PC 3 and PC 2 to PC 4, it has to work, but the ping between PC 2 to PC 4, it won't work. Then we need to configure the switch 1 and switch 2 as a trunk interfaces and try to ping between PC 2 to PC 4, it has to ping, whereas PC 2 to PC 3, still it won't ping. But we are just trying to do a trunk and trying how the packet, so we can do a simulation and check how the packet are being propagated across these two segments. So initially the all the PCs are assigned with an IP addresses. Now our task is to first initially do a ping and validate how the network is approachable. So 10.0.0.3, when I ping, I'm getting a reply. And from PC 2, when I do a ping, I'm getting a reply. Similarly, when I do a ping to PC 3 from PC 2, I'm able to do a ping because I have not logically separated the VLANs. But here I have in still I'm able to ping. Now I'm going to segregate them into two VLANs. How is config P interface fast Ethernet 0/2 switch port mode? There are three modes here showing: access, dynamic, and trunk. And over dynamic, there are two more modes are there: auto and desirable. So we need here access configurations as the PCs are at edge of your topology. We are to keep it in access mode. On doing this, I'm keeping it as in access mode. Now I have kept this is in access mode. Now switch port access VLAN 1 is there. Similarly, when I go here, PC 3 interface fast Ethernet 0/2 switch port mode, access, access VLAN. Predominantly, many people won't do this. Why? Because all the ports are defaultly assigned to this VLANs. So we don't need to manually give it, but it as a safety precautions we can do to keep enable. But for other than any VLAN one, we need to do as such we did. First Ethernet 0/3 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 2. So it's automatically creating a VLAN. Here we didn't see that VLAN has been created. So when I do with this kind of assignment, it automatically enabling it. Show VLAN. When I do, it is configuring the VLAN 2 and I've mapped that. Similarly, getting I've done it for 0/3 at switch 2. Now similarly I need to go here at switch 1 fast ethernet 0/3 switch mode access switch port access VLAN. So it has also created a VLAN. So now I've created two segments. Now when you try to ping from here to PC3, it won't ping. Earlier it was pinging and now it is not. So we have successfully segregated it. Two VLANs. But when I try to ping 4, still it won't ping. Do you know what's happening? We didn't configure another end of the switches to know where the packet has to direct. For that, we need to go into fast Ethernet 0/1 switch port mode. Here, as we say, three modes are there. We need to choose the one appropriately that your network has to get configured. In this case, since this segment is sharing different VLANs, both VLAN has to be allowed over this physical link in order to reach PC4 by PC2 and PC3 by PC1, so that we need to give it as trunk, and doing it as trunk I'm able to see that switch 1 is trunk mode. Now switch 2, coming to switch 2 interface fast ethernet 0/1 switch port mode trunk port. Once I did trunk, I'm able to now ping PC4. It may take some time as we have changed the configurations on the interfaces. It may take a small amount of time to get refreshed. Now after refresh you can see that last packet confirms it got reply. When you do a second chance, it keeps immediately responding to the ping. Why? Because it has to keep looking at its learned MAC table. We call it as in switch MAC table that as a learning algorithm like cut and forward or straight through So either of these three, there were three algorithm. It chooses one to keep its MAC table up all the time. So when you want to see those MAC address table, it should populate the interfaces fast Ethernet 0/1. It keeps knowing the learned MAC address. This is not the MAC address of its own fast Ethernet. It's MAC address of the neighbor. So this is the neighbor's fast Ethernet 0/1 MAC address. When I go here at switch 2, you can see the MAC address of this here. How you can see his interface fast Ethernet 0/1. You can see that G000216 A801 has learned, and now you can see that MAC table been properly populated. So this how, but still you can't even reach the VLAN. Why? Because here fast Ethernet 0 till the packet comes here. If you want, we need to put in the simulation mode to check what happens actually. So that would be best way of explaining. So now when it goes here till this point, the packet is valid. Why? Because it is in trunk mode. I'm pinging to tender 0.3, but the packet even goes to PC4 because the VLAN 2 packet is the PC belonging to VLAN 2, so it's broadcasting across all the VLAN 2 taking part machines. But still, the packet will not be accepted because that is not the intended destination. So it actually forward to the next. See, packet from here, if you see that what happens, only stp bpdus are flowing, not the data packet. So it actually flowing this is the icp pin. So it is going to pc4, not pc3. In case if you want to make that to happen, we need to go and configure interface fast Ethernet 0/2 switch port access VLAN 2. Then if you ping it, see, this time both here, not here, we can have a filter to filter the packets. So here I, I can filter to see only ICMP packets so that it will be easy for. So in this case, that is the first case. Now with the recent ping, so here it, now I am only allowing ICMP ping. It has to go via F02. If it doesn't happen, something is problem. So some problem is there. We need to go and fix that.